Hey there! I am going to show you how to make a photo transfer with a digital image and matte gel medium, acrylic medium. So here I have a piece of a photograph. I'll show you the rest of it in a little bit. I'm actually going to be transferring 15 individual pieces of a photograph onto a very large panel. So the first thing that you do is is print out the photograph on high quality inkjet paper, but not photo paper, because that doesn't hold the inks the right way. And I'm going to coat it. I'm going to use this little foam brush, and I'm going to use the foam brush to coat the photograph. I get it by the gallon, the matte gel medium. So I'm just going to coat the image with a pretty thick layer of this, and I want to do it fairly evenly. I'm just going to do it today over this portion of the image because I've got a white background. I don't really need to cover all of the white. If just a little piece of it were white, then of course I would cover the whole thing, but this is how I'm doing it today. So now this is coated, and then, like I said, I make it nice and kind of even. That's more careful than I usually am. But so what I'm going to do in a minute here is I'm going to now coat all of those pieces. But I'm not going to do that in real time because that would be really slow and boring. So you get to watch me do that really fast. Okay, so now it's drying. It's gonna take this probably hours. I don't usually time it. I'll give it a day. This is what I've done to this today. I'll be painting this piece live on stage in about a week, so I'm not super concerned about time. I'll come back probably in a couple of days and show you the next step, but you won't know. It'll just be a couple seconds. Okay, so it's been a couple of days. These things have dried. I have trimmed the edges, and now I'm going to start the transfer process. So the first one I'm going to transfer is this one here. I have water, I have a towel, I have more matte gel medium waiting there. This is just going to go in the water, and it's going to soak there for a moment. Okay, it just took me a couple of minutes to set this up, move the tripod and all that. So this has been soaking just for a couple of minutes in water, and I'm just peeling away the paper. So this is just a bunch of paper there that didn't have any matte gel medium coating on it, and as it's been soaking it gets opaque again. But I'm gonna just start peeling. There we go. This paper is an HP paper, and when it sits and soaks for long enough, it just peels off really nice. Not all paper does this quite so nicely. Gotta be careful. Try not to tear the transfer today. So this is the paper. I'm peeling off this image. This is the ink that's been pulled up into the matte gel medium as it dried. Now I'm just gonna dry that because it's pretty wet. So I'm just gonna pat it dry with a towel. And it's gonna go like this onto this piece of my panel. This is my matte gel medium, so I'm going to coat the back of it. Just a real light coating on here. So this can be transferred onto all kinds of things. Plain wood, I usually transfer onto a panel like this that I have gessoed, and then I did some collage on here as an underlayer. So now I'm just adhering it, getting all of the bubbles out so that it'll be strongly adhered. It'll also wrap itself around all of the texture that I've laid down. There's all kinds of textures on here that I've done with acrylic medium. Lots of layers, but this is just the photo transfer layer I'm showing you in this particular video. So I'm just pushing all of that extra gel medium out. Oh, I'm going to put the next piece in the water. So it's soaking. So it'll be ready when I'm ready to do the next piece. So this is one image that I printed out in many different pieces. It was 15, I believe. And so each one I'm going to transfer, it's sort of like putting together a puzzle onto this panel. One by one by one, but I like to do it all in pretty much the same time because then the pieces fit together better. They sort of flex, stretch out a little bit when they're wet, contract a little bit when they're dry. Okay, so that's this first one. Now I only have to do that with 14 more pieces. So again, that's gonna take a while and doesn't make for exactly riveting couple hours of video. So you're gonna get to watch it a little bit sped up. can see that it's still opaque, but in some places it's starting to dry. And you can see the image coming through again. I will do one more shot when it dries. Again, it's going to take some time, so it might be tomorrow before I take another shot of it. Okay, and here is the completely dried image. You can see how it looks. And as we get closer, you can see that we see through it. So like the collage that was underneath comes through. And I've decided I'm actually going to add a dragonfly up there, and then like I said, this is going to get painted live on stage this coming weekend. But that's the basics of the transfer process.